Hello guys and welcome back to Haymanager today with me, Alex, and today it's the second induction of these transfer videos, the players that will try and light up the Premier League in their own little way, but we're looking at how efficient they can be to get you points in the fantasy Premier League world. So we'll start off straight away with Brentford's new signing, Christopher Ajer, the player from Celtic, who I think is an absolutely underrated player. Nonetheless, I don't think he's much of a centre-back. If he does play centre-back, you're a football manager, and people who have a very good footballing mind, you will know what a libero is. This man fits the bill perfectly. Christopher Ajer, a very, very efficient player, 35 matches played, can play at centre-back or defensive mid. I've done the stats as if he was a defensive midfielder, and it suits him a lot better, let's just put it that way. Excuse me, 35 matches played, 3 assists, 52 interceptions, 27 tackles, 1. Absolutely brilliant. Brentford have really picked up for 13.5 million, a very fantastic player. And for me, Christopher Ajer, for me, he's going to be an absolute star. He's going to be a star. And for 4.5 million in a Brentford defence, we'll have to see how it performs really, because they do play like a 5 at the back with a DM sat in front of it, but then in games, it can transfer into a 3 at the back with a DM in front of it and a left mid and a right mid. So it does change quite a bit, but Ajer can sit in that defensive midfielder role, ping the balls from the back. I like how he can distribute and hit them diagonals, going across the pitch or try and put a ball in behind. He's very good at that. Interceptions-wise, really good. For a man of his stature and how tall he is, it's interesting how efficient he is at interceptions. So he's obviously got a good mind and a great mental sort of attribute to the game. So Christopher Ajer, 4.5 million. You're looking at comparing him to like Ben White or a Mitchell or a Fofana, for example. Christopher Ajer is probably going to get you about 3 or 4 assists a year. Will he get many headed goals? I don't know. He's decent in the air, but I wouldn't say he's phenomenal. He's much more of a, as I said, defensive midfielder, so he's a bit more of a nuance to him, where he's very silky on the ball and more uses his brain. He uses his brain more than others to try and interpret the game and how he's going to have an impact on the game like that. So, but Fantasy Premier League, it doesn't translate to points. So 4.5 million, it's an interesting one. You can just put him on the bench if you want to, but there's more interesting players out there like Ben White or, for example, Fofana, who can try and get you more points. But Ajer is the definite starter, so think about putting him in your sides. We then move on to Leeds' new man, which is an interesting one, Junior Firpo, after how would you put it? A very unsuccessful time at Barcelona. The ex-Real Betis player, played only 7 matches last year for Barcelona, 1 assist in those games, progressive carries 24, 336th joint in the league, only 2 tackles and then 32 pressures. He's not had a great start at Barcelona, or a great end either, let's put it that way. Leeds have managed to nab him off Barcelona for a decent fee, and I think he'll go straight into the side. I think he'll go straight in there. He's a very, very athletic player, great going forward, fits the Bielsa style perfectly, hitting players on the counter. It's just whether or not he can blend in and fit into and understand this system that Bielsa plays. Firpo is a very promising little left back, gets forward a lot of the times, likes to get forward. He's very interesting player. Comparing to like the likes of Van Aanholt, I wouldn't say he's particularly brilliant going in defence. We've seen him struggle at Barcelona, but going forward looks very efficient, and especially for Real Betis, he was a transfer target for many back in the day when Barcelona did sign him. Manchester United wanted to get him as a backup. Chelsea were looking at him. I think City were looking at him as well. So he obviously has that sort of clout and that sort of, he's known in the footballing world in the top leagues as someone that can produce if he's on his A game. And for 5 million, it's probably worth a little bit of a chance. We'll have to see whether or not Leeds do obviously start him, but I think he'll be starting at that left back role. And yeah, we'll have to see how that ends up. So that is Junior Firpo. And then the final player, the man that we've all been waiting for, is finally in the FPL. He's finally in a Manchester United shirt as well. It's Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho, one of the most anticipated transfers probably of all time. It's been a 2-year cycle, especially with Twitter, everyone thinking about it. Sancho for 9.5 million, you can get this man in. And I think he promises a minimum of 20 goal contributions in the league. After a stunning year in the Bundesliga, 26 games, 8 goals, 11 assists. He didn't even complete the whole season, 26 matches played, which is going to be an interesting one for it to see how he can perform when he's got another 12 games to play. But I think it's only 18 teams in the Bundesliga, so he missed out 8 games. I think he missed out 8 games. But still managed to get 19 goal contributions in 26 matches. In the Champions League as well, I think he brought that up to 10 goals, 15 assists. So the only player to get 10 goals, 15 assists in all competitions over the last 3 seasons, as well as Messi and someone else, I can't remember his name now. But his shot creating actions per 90 puts him second in the league. 5.46 shot creating actions, so your dribbles, your passes, your key passes, you're beating your man, your pre-assists, stuff like that. 5.46 for him, and dribble success rating is 130th in the league, but the amount of dribbles he takes on, 55.8% of the time. He's a very successful player at cutting in from that right hand side. He naturally probably a left winger, but has adapted his game to cut in from that right hand side, much like Rashford has. Rashford a natural right winger, but cuts in from that left hand side now. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how well he does in the Premier League. United are rumoured to play a 4-3-3 next season, so you'll be seeing Fernandes sort of take not a backward seat, but sit a bit deeper in the like formation wise for Manchester United, sit a bit deeper in the midfield. So Sancho and Rashford and whoever plays up front, Rashford obviously misses the first 2 months of the season, so Sancho, probably Martial and Cavani will all have the freedom to do as they wish, and the crossing ability of Sancho mixed with the heading ability and the initiative of Cavani to get into the box, I think he'll be an absolute masterclass. I think he'll get probably at least minimum 7 goals, and then minimum you're looking at 10 assists as well, because he just picks up assists for fun. Sancho's going to really bring this United team to life, and the right winger is what we've been screaming out for ages as a United fan anyway. So yeah, Sancho for $9.5 million, looking at comparing him to probably the likes of Vardy up front with how efficient his numbers would be, and Son, for example. Son's a big one that you go and compare him to. Other ones are your Bernardo Silvas, your Mahrez's. I'm trying to think of other midfielders that are very creative in $9.5 million range. I don't think there's that many. But players like that, so you're going to compare him to them, I think he'll pick up just about as many, if not more, points than them altogether. So we'll have to see how he starts off the season. So $9.5 million is a gamble you probably should take. So yeah, that is transfers number 2. I hope you did enjoy that. If you did, as ever, leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and I shall catch you in the next episode. From me, Alex, have a great day. Ciao.